Quick reminder that the description has a link to a resource website that you can use to help contribute to ongoing Black Lives Matter organizations. You can do a myriad of things like donate to bail funds or sign petitions, all of which go a long way to fighting systemic racism. Thank you very much for your time. Hello everyone, GoldenNova here, and welcome to Field Test, a series where we sleeve up my latest experiment and see how it operates out in the wild. If you want to see me run these decks through their paces live, or perhaps catch a duel with me, you can catch me right here on YouTube every Friday at 8 PM Central Time. Subscribing will keep you posted, and if you want to stay in the loop on any updates, follow the link in the description for my Twitter. Alright, shameless self-promotion aside, let's talk about today's thought experiment, Tribrigade. And not just any Tribrigade. With the variety of themes and types the Terror Trio can support, there's a vast wilderness of possibilities yet to be explored. So while others are hard at work practicing their Zodiac lines, I've taken to seeing if I can strike it rich in unclaimed territory. It's time to take an old favorite out of retirement to see what it can do with a little backup, presenting Tribrigade Bujins. Premiering in Judgment of the Light in 2013, Bujins are a rank 4 archetype primarily built around the Beast Warriors Yamato and their grown-up Xyz form Susanoo. The goal is to use both of them to arrange your supporting Bujins, both of the Beast and Winged Beast variety, in the appropriate places to help you out, as Beasts can banish themselves from the grave for various effects as long as you control a Beast Warrior Bujin, while the Winged Beast ones can discard themselves from hand for similar results. Popular Bujin builds would incorporate the now banned Kaiser Coliseum to limit opponents' swarming capabilities, then solidify their board state by letting Yamato send protective monsters like Hare and Turtle to the grave over and over again, using Bujin Crane or Honest to deal with anything that could threaten its already impressive 1800 attack point stat line. But why are we playing them now? Bujins didn't exactly age well, especially without their favorite arena keeping swarm-happy decks in check. Well, we're hoping that Tribrigade can help us get off the ground a lot sooner than before. One of the major issues with Bujin is that they lacked a good way to get enough material on board to make their signature Xyz off a blank board state. But a single Fractar in hand can land us a Ceres and a Flaget on board. So long as we have 2 Bujins in hand at this point, we'll be able to put them both on the board to make Susanoo, at which point we can cleave through an entire field at once while searching more cards for follow-up plays like a Yamato or a Harume, or just setting up immediate removal by sending to the Grave Centipede or Quillen. If you're not up to date on what Tribrigade are capable of, there's a link at the top right for you with a rundown of all currently available cards in the archetype. I don't currently have a quick rundown of Bujins for you, but that'll be all the more incentive for me to jump on a video about them if new support ever comes out. Because trust me, they need it. Alright, now that the housekeeping is out of the way, let's take a look at the list I piloted. For monsters, we're running 3 Yamato, 2 Harume, 2 Haruko, 1 Mikazuchi, 1 Quillen, 1 Centipede, 1 Turtle, 1 Hare, 1 Crane, 3 Fractar, 2 Naval, 1 Ceres, 1 Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds, 3 Honest, and 3 Ash. For spells, we're on 3 Unexpected Die, 3 Called by the Grave, 3 Airborne, and 3 Tenki. And for traps, we're just running 2 Revolts. In the extra, we have 2 Susanoo, 2 Tsukuyomi, 1 Kagatsuchi, 1 Amaterasu, 1 Castel, 2 Flaget, 1 Lugal, 1 Shrike, 1 Ahashima, 1 Ancient Warrior Shuanglong, 1 Wind the Wind Charmer Verdant, and 1 Cymorg Bird of Sovereignty. Now, let's move on to the test footage. Our first game is up against Kale Dragon, and they're piloting Super Quants. That's right, ancient Japanese mythology versus Super Sentai. Let's see how this battle between past and present plays out. They'll start by normal summoning Red Layer, then activating a Magna Carrier, using its effect to discard another Magna Carrier in hand to overlay for a Magna Liger. They'll set 1 and pass to us. On our turn, we'll normal summon Mikazuchi, then go to battle phase. We'll attack the Magna Liger, dropping the Crane so we can attack over it, but the grave effect of Red Layer just resummons the Magna Liger, so it's still on the board. We'll set 2 Called By and pass to our opponent. On their turn, they'll normal summon Green Layer, then use Magna Carrier to discard an Ash Blossom to overlay into Ouroboros. In battle phase, they'll attack over the Mikazuchi, and with nothing else, they'll pass over to us. On our turn, we normal summon Hare, then go to battle phase. We'll attack the Ouroboros, but sensing another Crane, they'll activate Ouroboros to flip the Hare face down. With nothing else, we pass to them. With no materials, their Xyz can't attack, so they switch them to defense position and pass to us. On our turn, we flip up the Hare, then normal summon Centipede, overlaying for Susanoo. We'll detach a material, searching for a Haruko, and then we'll banish the Centipede that we detached to destroy their set card. In battle phase, we'll attack the Magna Liger, dropping an Honest so we have enough attack power to get over the Ouroboros. With nothing else, we pass to our opponent. On their turn, they'll play Symphonic Warrior Guitars to scale, activating its effect, discarding a Jackalope to summon Mix from deck. This will trigger Jackalope, but we'll chain the Called by the Grave to keep them from getting a free card. This stops further plays, so they'll pass to us. We'll start by discarding a Fractar in hand to set a naval from deck to grave, using its effect to search a Ceres from deck to hand. We'll normal summon the Ceres, then activate Susanoo, detaching a material to search a Yamato. Then we'll activate Bujin Haruko and Scale, banishing it to activate its effect to rank up our Susanoo into an Amaterasu. We'll activate Ceres, banishing 4 so we can summon a Shrike from extra, using its effect to banish their mix. Then we'll activate Amaterasu, summoning a Mikazuchi from our banished zone, then attack for 3000, 26, and 1900 for game. Our next game is up against Mr. Toon and they're piloting Melffy, which is very unfortunate because I'm about to show off one of the most unfair things you can do with the Tribrigade engine. We'll start by activating Unexpected Die, but our opponent chains the Ash Blossom. No problem, we have another Unexpected Die in hand, very skillful of us. We'll summon Haruko, then normal summon Naval, and we'll link Toon to Flaget, activating Naval's effect to search a Ceres from deck to grave. We'll activate Ceres, discarding another Naval to summon themselves, and Flaget will summon a Crane out of our hand. We'll link 3 into Sovereignty Cymorg, then we'll activate Ceres to banish 3 to summon a Lugal from extra. In end phase, Sovereignty Cymorg will summon a Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds from deck, locking all special summons out except for Winds. Our opponent will normal summon Cathy, then set 3. We'll activate Lugal, summoning Naval from grave, and this will trigger the Cathy, bouncing it back to hand and searching them a Mind Mole. In end phase, we'll bounce the Naval back to hand, and Sovereignty Cymorg will summon back the Naval at link point, and they'll pass to us. On our turn, we'll turn Ceres to attack position and attack directly for 1200, 23, and 24. We don't want to give up our special summon lock, so we'll just pass to our opponent. On their turn, they'll set a Mind Mole and then pass to us. We'll start by normal summoning Hair, then going to battle phase. Sovereignty Cymorg will attack, but Mind Mole can't be destroyed by battle once per turn. We'll push with Ceres, attack over with Hair, and then attack with Lugal for game. Alright, it's time for our best of 3, and we're up against Calcite, bringing their dreaded Thunder Dragon deck to bear. They've proven themselves to be a fearsome opponent in the past, but let's see if Susanoo can't add another dragon to their list. They'll start by normal summoning Aloof Lupine, banishing a Roar in hand to banish a Matrix from deck. This will trigger both, adding a Matrix from deck to hand and summoning a Dark from deck to field. They'll activate Thunder Dragon in hand, and will chain the Ash Blossom to keep them from getting the free card. They'll link summon Cross Sheep, triggering Dragon Dark to search them a Thunder Dragon Fusion. They'll banish 2 to summon Duo from hand, then play Thunder Dragon Fusion to summon Titan. This will trigger Cross Sheep, summoning Aloof Lupine from grave, and they'll link into Union Carrier, using its effect to equip Dragon Buster Destruction Sword to the Dragon Duo, and having locked us out of our extra deck, they'll pass to us. We'll start by playing Unexpected Die to summon a Haruko from deck, and then we'll normal summon a Bujinki Hair. We'll go to battle phase and use Hair to attack the Thunder Dragon Duo. They'll chain with Dragon Matrix, but thankfully we have the Called by the Grave to chain block the Titan. Dragon Duo still gets the attack boost, but in damage calculation we'll drop an Honest so that Hair has enough power to attack over the Dragon Duo. Now that we're no longer under the extra deck lock, we'll overlay for Castell, shuffling away the Titan, and then we'll pass to our opponent. Unfortunately, we're not out of the woods just yet. They'll activate Thunder Dragon in hand to search 2 more Thunder Dragon, then play Tuning to search a Quick Draw Synchron. They'll banish Fusion from grave, adding a Roar from deck to hand, discarding it to add a Hawk from grave to hand. They'll discard a Thunder Dragon to summon Quick Draw Synchron, and discard Hawk to summon a banished Matrix. They'll link to an Verte Anaconda, activating its effect, paying 2000 life points, sending a Thunder Dragon Fusion from deck to grave to Fusion summon for another Titan. They'll activate Union Carrier, attaching a Hawk to the Thunder Dragon Titan, giving it 1000 attack points, and they'll discard a Thunder Dragon to pop our Castell and search another Thunder Dragon. In battle phase, they'll attack us for 500, 1000, and 4200 damage. Now, if we draw a single Tribrigade card, we can make a Shrike and get out of this, but we draw Mikazuchi instead, so we normal summon it and attack over the Union Carrier for 900, and pass back to our opponent. On their turn, they'll banish a Fusion from grave to search a Thunder Dragon Hawk, which they'll activate to trigger their Titan. We'll chain a Hair so that we can keep our Mikazuchi safe, but because of that, they opt to destroy one of their own cards to banish 2 from grave. Hawk resolves, summoning a Matrix, and the banished Roar summons a Dark from deck. They'll make a 3-material Appaloosa, and then use Titan to attack over our Mikazuchi for game. Okay, that didn't go very well. Let's see if we can turn that around for game 2. We'll start by activating Fire Formation Tenki, searching a Bujin Yamato. We'll normal summon them, set a Called By, and at end phase, Yamato will search as a Hair, which we'll then discard. They'll start by playing Allure of Darkness, drawing 2 and banishing a Thunder Dragon Duo. They'll normal summon Aloof Lupine, banishing Matrix from hand to banish a Roar from deck, triggering both, adding a Matrix from deck to hand, and summoning a Dragon Dark. They'll discard a card to special summon Quick Draw Synchron, and making Ultimaya Zolkin. This will activate Dragon Dark to search a Thunder Dragon, and they'll set a card so that they can activate Ultimaya Zolkin. We'll chain Hair to keep Yamato safe, and then they'll summon the Crystal Wing from their extra. They'll link to into Cross Sheep, they'll trigger Thunder Dragon in hand to search another one, and then trigger it again to search a third. They'll activate the set Thunder Dragon Fusion, shuffling away the material to make a Titan. This will trigger Cross Sheep, summoning a Aloof Lupine from grave, then they'll link into Union Carrier, using its effect to attach a Dragon Buster Destruction Sword to the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, then they'll play Dimensional Fissure. Okay, check this out. They'll discard a Thunder Dragon to activate Titan, we'll chain block with Called By, but because the Thunder Dragon is immediately banished because of Dimensional Fissure, we can't actually negate the Thunder Dragon, so when it resolves, they add a new one to hand, which they'll then discard to activate Titan on a new trigger. They'll attack us, and we can't respond with any of our Honests because they're stranded in our hand because of the Dimensional Fissure. On our turn, we'll set a Haruko and a Revolt, but the game is basically over. They'll discard a Matrix targeting their Titan, which will trigger their Titan to destroy our set card. In battle phase, Titan will attack over our set Haruko, and they'll attack us directly for 4,700 with Crystal Wing for game. Yeah, that all went about as well as I could have expected. Normally this would be the time where I talk about what works and what needs work, but this build is so experimental that it's hard to say what the deck is capable of in a broader sense, though I do have several critiques of the build and the way I put it together now that I've played it that you might find useful if you feel like iterating on the deck yourself. First off, my attachment to Bujin's really got in the way of effective deck building this time around. I think 3 Yamato and 2 Harume are good, but the Mikazuchi ended up being a vestigial inclusion, only being there to add copies of Bujin Incarnation that I actually ended up cutting earlier in development, and didn't really contribute anything otherwise. I still think Haruko and Unexpected Dai are fantastic inclusions, but as a way to jumpstart your plays, it might be better to go all in by including a 3rd Haruko and swapping out the Dais for Rescue Rabbits. That way you can get your Xyz off a single card, rather than hoping you have another card to combo with Dai. Also, if you manage to do the Tribrigade combo, you can special Rabbit out of your hand with Flaget and still keep your normal summon. Second, my extra deck ratios are just atrocious. I've got 2 Tsukuyomi and Susanoo when I really should only be running just 1 of each, and that's room that could have gone towards more copies of Lugal and Shrike, and that came up a lot during games. I do like the inclusion of Cymorg and Stormwinds, it's hilariously strong against a lot of decks, but the new Link monster, Ahashima, is not doing the theme any favors, so I'd likely cut it in future builds. It honestly feels like something that belongs in a deck like Trains, using lower level monsters as link material to facilitate the Xyz summon of something much bigger. Lastly, this deck just needs a better power play. Susanoo plus Honest has been difficult to power creep, but the strength of Bujin's was always a slow and steady push to the finish line, and games just aren't won like that anymore. There's probably a version of the deck that's much more trap focused to try to slow down our opponent to our speed, but that would take further testing that's beyond the scope of this experiment to determine. All in all, it was a fun idea, and revisiting the GX characters but as ancient Japanese deities deck was a blast. But until the theme gets a significant overhaul, Tribrigade are going to have to move on to greener pastures while Bujin's take another break. But I'm curious to hear what you have to say about it. What changes would you have made to the deck if you were building it? And is there a Bujin combo that I overlooked that actually makes this a sleeper hit? Let me know in the comments, and if you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.